Alright, back to another album review. Today I'm going to talk about a band called Crosses. Crosses is actually another side project from Chino Moreno, who is actually the band's lead singer / rhythm guitarist. He started out this band in 2011 in Los Angeles with Chuck Doom and Sean Lopez. Chuck handled the bass guitar while Sean served as the lead guitarist and the keyboardist. Of course, Chuck has also worked with Team Sleep and Palms, which were Chino's other side projects. Sean, on the other hand, helped produce the album Saturday Night Wrist from Deftones, which I talked about last month. However, Chris Robin handled the drums during live shows. I read that Chino described the side project as, quote, minimal and soothing, and it's sort of like the stuff I like listening to when I'm not screaming my head off. I suppose that's one way of putting it. Crosses was chosen as the band's name. They decided to release a series of EPs, since they had already completed 16 songs. The first EP was called EP1, and was released on August 2nd, 2011. That EP was self-released and only had 5 songs on it. This is a Trick, Option, Bermuda Locket, The Holy Ghost, and Cross. The second EP was called EP2. This one is also self-released, and came out on January 24th, 2012. Again, this EP had only 5 songs on it: Frontiers, Prurient, Telepathy, Trophy, and 1987. Crosses were planning on releasing a third EP, but that was put on hold while Chino went off to finish work on the Deftones album Koi no Yokan, as well as the debut album from Palms, which I already talked about. September of 2013 was when Crosses signed on to Sumerian Records, which the band Body Count were with at the time. The following month is when a full-length album was announced and scheduled for release on November 26, 2013. However, it was pushed back to February 11th, 2014. This album has remastered versions of the songs that were on the first 2 EPs, as well as the songs that would have been essentially EP3. The album was said that it was produced by Crosses and Sean Lopez, despite the fact that Sean is a member of the band. I think that just means that he was the executive producer or something like that. Sean was also responsible for the engineering and the mixing. Essentially, this album was self-produced. It also has Stephen Bocher providing mandolin assistance. The album was recorded in 2013 at Red Bull Studios and Henson Recording, which are both in Los Angeles. This album is primarily centered around electronic rock with some elements of dream pop, dark wave, industrial rock, and witch house. Now let's talk about the songs, even though none of them were released as singles. This album starts with This Is a Trick. Of course, this was originally on EP1, and he features Duff McKagan of Guns N' Roses and Velvet Revolver providing originals, performing additional bass. I think this is a great song. It starts the album very well. The next song is Telepathy, which was originally from EP2. This is actually my favorite song from the album, and it was even featured on the soundtrack for the game Need for Speed Most Wanted from 2012. Up next is Bitches Brew, which was previously unreleased. The song is very dark and atmospheric and fits with the overall tone of the album. There's also a music video that was made for the song that was directed by Raul Gonzo. It was released in 2013. There's going to be a link to it in the description. The Holy Ghost comes next, and this is another song from EP1. Trophy is after that, and that was previously from EP2. The next song is the Epilogue. The song was released online for streaming shortly after the album was announced. Of course, this song wasn't on either of the EPs. Raul Gonzo directed the music video for the song. The video was released in 2014, and there's going to be a link to it in the description. Follow that up with Bermuda Locket, which was originally from EP1. It's actually the most popular song from this album. Surprisingly, it was never released as a single. course, I already mentioned that no songs from this album were released as singles. Now, Frontiers is next. This is another song that was on EP2. The song features Molly Carson on the phone call. The next song is 1994, which wasn't released on until this album, came out. The song features Mackie Jason performing the drums/loop. Up next is Option, which is another song from EP1. We followed up with 1987, which was from EP2. We followed up with Black Stallion, which was previously unreleased. Of course, Black Stallion would later become the remix version of the Deftones album White Pony. The next song is called Cross, which first appeared on EP1. Prurient is after that, and this song originally came from EP2. The album ends with Death Bell, which was previously unreleased. There's also another song that Cross made called The Years. The song ended up on the soundtrack for the game Batman Arkham City back in 2011. Unfortunately, it wasn't included on this album. When I realized that this album peaked at number 26 on the Billboard 200, though it charted higher than the debut album from Palms, it still wasn't a huge success. Rather, this album was received very well from critics. In fact, it has a 74 on Metacritic. Some of the critics actually praised this album for its experimentation. As for my opinion on it, this is a great album overall. It's a lot of experimentation, and I personally think that Crosses are my favorite of Chino Moreno's side projects. Yes, I think they're even better than Team Sleep. Although Team Sleep is great, and although Team Sleep is great and the most popular of Chino's side projects, something about Crosses makes me like them even more. Overall, this is a great album, and I highly recommend it. The thing is, Crosses had taken a hiatus and hadn't released any music for 6 years. Fast forward to Christmas of 2020, when Crosses would release a new single, which is a cover of the song The Beginning of the End from the synth-pop band Cause and Effect. I actually really like this cover, considering the fact that it sounds just like the original version, with Chino Moreno as the vocalist. It kind of sounds like Crosses went for a more industrial sound with this cover, though they decided to go into synth pop with this cover. There's also a music video that was made for this song. There's going to be a link to it in the description. I saw people on Crosses' Facebook page ask them if they're going to make a new album after the release of the new single. Crosses haven't responded, but I'm hoping that they'll make a new album at some point. March 11th of 2021 was when Crosses posted the photo that you see on screen of Chino and Sean in the studio. Even though the photo had been taken the day before. I'm pretty sure that Crosses are currently working on a new album. Let's hope that's the case. Now's the part where I question you. Have you listened to Crosses' debut album? If so, what are your thoughts on it? What's your favorite song from it? You think Crosses should make a new album and include the new single on it? Let me know in the comments. If you like the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to hit the notification bell to be notified of future uploads. Thanks for watching, I'll be back soon with another review.